Well, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host, Trey Holiday, and it is a beautiful Friday today. We have to give it up for the 57th anniversary of the March on Washington. So much great coverage, and y'all know, as always, let me throw it on over to my guy, my one and only, my Ace Boom Coon, Big O. Happy Friday, man.
Man, happy Friday, Treyana. It's been quite an incredible week on all kinds of different levels here on the local level and of course on the national level. And today we celebrate the 57th anniversary of the historic March on Washington. A lot of people know that's that day is the I Have a Dream speech, and it's also where John Lewis was kind of introduced in the national stage, or young John Lewis,
yes,
at 25 years old. I think we might have, are we able to split into Washington, D.C.? Oh, yeah.
Sure thing. Hang on. Right on.
All right. So we've been monitoring a lot of stuff. I saw Martin Luther King Jr. III, and man, it was fiery. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of good speeches and everything going on there. Want to talk about some stuff that's happening today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, today in our community and also right here on Converge at 6:30 tonight. It's the MLKCC. They're having their today, tomorrow, yesterday. It's an award ceremony. MLKCC, something that happens every year here. They're giving out some awards and honoring people in the community. You can catch that right here at 6:30. Do we have an image up for that one?
I'm sorry, no, we're still supposed to be on the March on.
Oh, okay, sure. That's no problem.
I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so what we'll do is so that's MLKCC. That's today 6:30 right here on Converge. And the other thing that we're doing, though, right there it is, right there. On wherever you're viewing this, you can view that. It's going to be free. It's an excellent event honoring people and accomplishments in our community. 3:30. This is the next one. If you can bring this one up. 3:30 today. It's the We Want to Live. We Still Want to Live. This is Willard Jimerson and Coach Dom. All these guys are going to be at Philly's Best on Martin Luther King and Rainier Avenue South, right across from Franklin High School. Man, Daryl DQ stepped up. He was like, man, community needs to see this. He said, oh, if you go, I'll go. I said, well, man, Daryl, if you go and I'm going. So basically, we're going to be streaming this event. This is at 3:30 today at Philly's Best, Rainier Avenue South, Martin Luther King. And man, it's a lot of speakers there addressing the issue of gun violence in our community. Last night, it was crazy on 23rd and Jackson. I mean, so many bullets in the air. There was a person injured up at Harborview. Man, the violence in our streets needs to stop. You know what I'm saying? The value of our lives also includes in our community. So I'm joining Willard Jimerson live today. You guys pick up that stream 3:30 today. You know what I'm saying? Me, Daryl, Young O might stop by as well. And we want to be able to push this message out there, you know,
yes,
within our community. So 3:30 on the stream and also at 6:30 on the stream. And you're going to an event as well, right?
Yeah. So our community is exploding, man. Today is an amazing day, and I think everybody wants to celebrate. And so there'll also be another event, the Black Joy event. It'll be at the Martin Luther King Memorial Park. Our new Pay the Fee shirts are launching today. So Mediums Collective will have these out there for sale. We know a lot of people in the community now understand our hashtag Pay the Fee. It's now national. We got some folks out there in DC right now setting up to get these shirts out there. So it's all about, pay the fee. And I'm loving this explosion of culture in our community.
Right. There's also a mental health and healing event that's going on at Jimi Hendrix Park today. So, I mean, all throughout the community in the Central District, in parts of the South End, there's all kinds of cultural events that are occurring and real positive events, encouraging people to get out there,
Amazing.
you know, and see what happens. We got a full show for you today. So we're not doing any of our headlines. We put them out. We've got John T. Williams and Jay Hollingsworth in the building. You know, John T. on Sunday, it'll be 10 years since John T. Williams was murdered right here in Seattle, SPD. He was shot while we'll explain it more, but he was a wood carver.
Mm-hmm.
And he had his carving tool and walked across the street, and apparently the officer took that as like a knife. It was a wood carving tool, and it didn't kind of speaks for itself. Yeah. But Rick Williams is here, and he's going to talk about the 10-year journey behind that, the rise of the John T. Williams Honor Totem, the totem pole that's there at the Seattle Center, as well as the rally on Sunday that's honoring John T. Williams. We've also got Marcus Harrison Green. He's in the building as well from the South Seattle Emerald. We're going over a few headlines, and we have Miss Prissy, Ashley Preston. Prissy Phood. She cooked lunch, and we're going to talk to her as well. I wanted to get into this segment right here, though. You know, I talked to my dad. I was like, I just called him before the show 57 years ago. Pops, where were you? You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the time he was 18 years old. He talked about being in Camden, New Jersey, when the I Have a Dream speech and marching the March on Washington. He talked about how empowering it and how inspiring that it was. And it's like, it's crazy. So we took a look back. If you guys have this video ready, we took a look back on the March on Washington 57 years ago. And I know a lot of people, when you hear March on Washington, we talk about Martin Luther King. But in the passing of John Lewis this year, you know, the conscience of the Congress, we found a clip right here off the Oprah Winfrey Network. Now, she might actually come after, but it was a good clip on the Oprah Winfrey Network right here. Representative John Lewis talking about his experience 57 years ago.
We started organizing. We were able to bring more than 250,000 people to March on Washington. And we all had to prepare a speech. I was very young, 23 years old, had all of my hair and a few pounds lighter.
I have the pleasure to present to this.
When April Randolph said, I now present to you young John Lewis, the National Chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee.
Brother John Lewis.
I looked to my right. I saw hundreds and hundreds of young people who had been involved during the early days. Looked straight ahead. I saw this sea of humanity. Then I looked to the left. I saw young black men and young white men up in the trees trying to get a better view. And then I said to myself, well, this is it. And I looked straight ahead again. And something said to me, go for it. And I opened my mouth and I started speaking.
We march today for jobs and freedom. But we have nothing to be proud of. Some hundreds and thousands of our brothers are not here. But they're receiving starvation wages or no wages at all. Those who have said be patient and wait, we must say that we cannot be patient. We do not want our freedom gradually, but we want to be free now. The time will come when we will not confine our marching to Washington. We will march through the South, through the streets of Jackson, through the streets of Danville, through the streets of Cambridge, through the streets of Birmingham. We must say, wake up, America, wake up, for we cannot stop, and we will not and cannot be patient.
Oh my goodness. I mean, just watching that clip, it fills me up with so much joy and so much hope, because what he was saying 57 years ago, we are actually still saying today. But what we're seeing today is we are seeing people stand up. We are seeing the NBA, the WNBA. We are seeing major sports. We are seeing major folks in major cities and people coming together across this world globally to really stand up for this. It's not just about a Black voice. This is really about people. And this is about the collective voice of people who are ready and fighting. They're like, look, they were saying it 57 years ago. We're saying it today, not gradually, but now.
Yeah, I agree with you in the sense that I can understand your optimism around the momentum that we see today. But the historian in me can't help but be reflective and think that when I called my father before the show today, he was 18, 57 years ago. My son is 19. And those signs, a lot of the signs that you see here today out there on the mall are the same signs they were holding 57 years ago. Just want good jobs, equality, equal treatment under the law. Yeah. So 57 years, almost 6 decades have passed. And we talk about the long game here. We talk about what is the plan for the long term. And almost 6 decades have passed now since that March on Washington. And the marchers that are there today still hold those same signs, are still looking for those same answers and everything else. And it's kind of sobering to look back. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't always been following the anniversary and everything else, but this year's events, it brought a heightened sense of what's going on out there. And I think that this is the perfect time right now for people to realize in this country, to realize like where we are at with things, exactly where we're at. And where we're at is well below the potential and promise of our country. It's well below. We've yet to reach our promise. We've yet to be the very best that we can be. And there's no more powerful benchmark or metrics than to look at this black and white footage from nearly 60 years ago and look today, and these rallying calls are still the same. Absolutely.
And what we saw when we covered John Lewis's death, and we saw him come out even now in his last years, in his last days, and join the protest movement still, because he's like, look, I still understand this. We are still here. We are still pressing. And you're so right that how can we at all be comfortable with the lack of progress that we have made as a nation? And honestly, it is time, like we were saying, we've been saying, for the leaders to really step up, those who have the power and the authority and that have been called on as our elected officials, to really listen to the voice of their people, the voice of their constituents, the voice in their districts. And it is time that we make radical change. It is really we need to uproot this system, erase and replace with community approach and with a collectivism that we haven't seen. And I'm so with you on this one, though.
Yeah, I think that, as a collective society here, as Americans, and collectively as Americans, then we have to be intentional in our actions about making our country better. And I think for far too long, we see year after year that, people support in the most minimal ways. We see here just in local politics in Seattle, look how many people just turn out to vote.
Yeah.
Let's just start right there. If we really want change in our city and our country, then people are going to have to participate in society. You can no longer sit there and continue to just watch from the sideline. We need more people in the arena.
Absolutely. It's all about education, man. And if you're unsure, if you're not clear where to go, where to start, there's a lot of resources right now out there, a lot of agencies, organizations, people working on the ground, individuals that are working to bring out education so people can feel informed and actually understand how important their vote is, how important it is that they actually utilize their voice. And like you said, and I've been saying it ever since, take their stake back in this country and actually do something with it. Absolutely.
Real deal. We're going to take a short break right now. When we come back, we have Rick Williams, brother of John T. Williams, and he's joined by Jay Hollingsworth of the John T. Williams Honor Totem. You are watching the Morning Update Show.
We're right here at East Precinct. It doesn't get any closer than this right now.
ConvergeMedia produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents.
As a small independent media company, we rely on the financial support of individuals and business members to stay on the front lines of the news that's important to you.
There's a lot going on. Are you ready? Ready to feel better, look better, be better? Drink water. Be ready for a pickup game. Instaframe to work hard towards your aim. Drink water. Hydrate. Hydrate to invest in yourself. Cut down on sugar. Invest in your health. Imagine the possibilities and reach your potential. Who knows what's next? Be ready. Be hydrated.
All right, they're telling me it's some technical issue here, so we're gonna cut this and we're gonna bring it back. It's gonna be on Facebook only, so I guess there's about 2 minutes.
This is why I talk
We'll be back 2 minutes. Catch us there.
Issues, right?